This is AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. It's the morning after.
Morning, good morning. Because the morning after the night before. I'd love to say I told you so, but I'm not going to because it's not classy.
Johnny Nelson, I think everyone's got to apologise. You were 1,000% sure, and to be honest, there was moments where he's had a little bit of success, but he cruised it all in all, to be honest, Joshua.
Yeah, but my question is, it seemed an impossible task before. And then when you actually saw it, you thought, oh, of course he could do this. The question is, was Anthony Joshua mentally able to get over the beat up he got in the first place? Was he? Did he have it in his locker, or was Ruiz his bogeyman? He answered all those questions and I always go back to a point. You've got to look at the bigger picture. Look at what this man achieved in 11 years, amateur and professional. Look at the accomplishments from gold, from winning the world heavyweight title, starting 16 professional fights, and then fighting in front of 90,000 people. It shows this man's got some kind of mental strength that a lot of us, we've got to go through a lot of experience to be able to handle. So I didn't think him taking the rematch instantly was the issue. I think the issue was he just made a rookie mistake. He's still a novice. And again, he's still a novice. But he had to go through experiences like he did in Ruiz 1 to get wisdom. He got wisdom, came back, did what he did. And that'll stand him good stead in the future in all fights. He'll learn more lessons, more things will happen. There'll be more ups and downs. But unfortunately, people just don't seem to look at the bigger picture, and you're swayed by the could be's, should be's instead of what are's. And I thought if this guy if he had the concentration to keep the mindset, have the discipline. My only problem wasn't the ability. I mean, my problem was, did he have the mental discipline to stick to what he has to stick to? And he showed it.
I think there were two main worries going into this fight. One was that if they got close and started exchanging, which happened briefly, would Joshua's natural instincts take over? And even though if Rob's telling him, and they've trained, constantly on kind of pulling out the exchange and keeping it long and clinching, like would his natural instinct just take over? I think that was a major worry, and also his mentality, obviously recovering from a loss. And he answered both those questions.
So again, and this is why you have a game plan, and that's the argument is, will he be able to stick to the game plan? Twice he almost got drawn into it, and you could see, remembered, boom, backed out, boom, and he didn't run, he boxed, bam, box, control, bam, box. So it didn't give a man a chance that shouldn't have one. At times he almost did, and those were the times where he just gave it and thought, I remember now. He'll go back and look at that fight and think, you know what, all right, this is what I've got to do. Because it's not always about going in there, crash, bang, wallop and getting rid of a man. And your ego plays a massive part, and his ego kept creeping in on his left shoulder saying, fuck that, let's go get him shot. You know what I mean? But then the smart one on the right shoulder said, no, come on, stick to your game plan. Come on, stick to your game plan. You'll come out a hero. And that's what he did. This is what he should have done in the first place. But again, maybe the first loss was the best thing that could have happened to him. Yeah, man. Because he was getting into a habit of how he trained. He was getting into a habit of what worked, what seemed he was successful in what he did. So he didn't think he needed to fix anything. Now look at all the implementation he'd done on his career. Look at what he'd done in regards to his attitude to going in the gym, his attitude to boxing, his attitude to when you're boxing, boom. Even before the fight, he wouldn't let anybody go in the dressing room to do an interview before the fight. So he's got to concentrate.
What, Sky weren't allowed?
Weren't allowed in. And I like that. Fraser came to me, said, Josh won't let us in. And I kind of smiled. I thought, good. I thought, good on you. And because it means he ain't playing it. You can't play boxing because of the consequences behind. I think what helped him stick to this was he's seen the good side and bad side of people, the shit that they can say and the good things they can say. And so he'd be pissed off. But I'm glad he's had to go through that because it's made him a better fighter. I think he boxed better than people thought he could box on Saturday night. He used his height, he used his reach, he used his power, he used what he had. So it was a proud moment. I was proud and I thought, you know what, Rob, all the people that helped in there, you guys need to be proud of yourself. and he made a shitload of money at the same time.
I think no matter what you think about the Wilder and Fury fights with Joshua, you have to be impressed by the way he conducted himself after the loss immediately, regrouped, took the immediate rematch.
Yeah, I understand that, but you've got to also understand this. He shouldn't have lost him in the first place.
No, of course not. But the way he... Listen, you can be the greatest fighter ever, but the way you conduct yourself after a loss shows a lot about your character.
Yeah, of course. And the only fighter, again, which is surprising, the only fighter that said, don't enjoy his downfall because it affects all of us. It affects the economy of our sport. And like it or not, and I love Tyson Fury. He's a don. I think Deontay Wilder is probably the biggest, heaviest hitter out there. But what I'm saying to you is, the money what's in boxing today would not be there if it wasn't for Anthony Joshua. Trust me. Anthony Joshua has the least experience, but he's the richest out of a lot of them. Why is that? Because he's managed to have that crossover appeal, and now blue chip companies want to get involved in our sport. Why is that? You understand? So he's saying and doing something so everybody benefits. So him getting knocked off the mantle, it would only affect our game on a whole. And Dillian Whyte was the only one that said Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are idiots when they were happy and that he lost, because it affects us all. And I thought, you're spot on right, man. Now Wilder, Whyte, Fury will all look at Adrian and think, I want to fight him. Those fights are probably easy to make now, because they'll think, we've seen him get hurt, we've seen him vulnerable, so I know exactly how to get rid of him.
Do you think that'll happen?
I'd love it to happen, but I think if the powers to be around them, if they were hesitant in regards to putting the fight together, they'll be less hesitant now. So now it's about politics, it's about that side of the sport.
Well, I think we should let Wilder and Fury end their story, whether it's a rematch, whether it's a trilogy, maybe even a fourth fight, who knows. Let them do their thing and then see how Joshua progresses. If he keeps them belts, and I'm sure one day Wilder or Fury, whoever comes out on top of that story, is going to have to meet Joshua.
Yeah, without a doubt. And listen, one fight that's always there, regardless if Joshua would have lost last night, is Dillian Whyte. That fight's always there. Because that's us. That's interesting to us. That intrigues us. That gets our imagination, and that's a beef that will always be there, even though there's professionalism in regards to how they are with each other.
WBO put out the mandatory statement. Usyk is obviously mandatory for that WBO belt. Do we expect Joshua to vacate that one and fight for the defend the IBF one against Pulev?
I think Pulev will be next, probably March, April time. He's got 179 days to defend his WBO against Alexander Usyk. And this, sometimes you've got to think brain over bones. Would he be happy relinquishing his titles instead of defending him in the ring? I don't know. I don't think he would. So I can see it happening. But let's see the journey of Usyk. Now he's entered the heavyweight division. I said this guy's the heir apparent in the heavyweights. I've seen this guy. He's very good. So now it's a case of how they navigate through to learn to deal with the big guys.
How do you think he fares? Because I've heard people say, listen, Usyk, phenomenal fighter, we know that, but Fury, Wilder, Joshua, too big for him. Do you see it like that?
Vladimir Klitschko wasn't too big for him. And I've seen him spar with Vladimir, and he battered Vladimir. And that's when Vladimir was trained to fight Tyson Fury. He was only a 7-fight pro. I've seen it with my own eyes. This isn't second-hand information. I've seen it. Everybody else did 4. Who else was there? Ergovich was there. A couple of big, heavy-handed heavyweights were there, and they were getting battered. They all had to do like 2 or 3 rounds apiece. Usyk got in. He should have gone about at least 3 rounds. They dragged him out the ring after 1 round because all the press were there, and he was mugging Marman off. The next day did the same thing. The next day did the same thing. Didn't see him again.
Could you see him potentially as undisputed champion one day?
Yeah, he has the ability to do that. But the heavyweight is full of heavyweight division is full of minefields. So one mistake can change everything, and that will be the case. It can make a massive difference. Usyk's not the biggest heavyweight out there, but he's technically the best out of the lot of them. But will that be an issue? Because if he was short and a banger, like Tyson, that's his up. So he's not the biggest, but he's a good boxer. So how does he deal with a big guy smashing him? You can get away with so long. We saw like Wilder when he boxed, he was 6-7 rounds behind. One shot changed everything. So you've got to be able to hold a shot as well as give it.
Well, listen, before the summer next year, I think we're going to get Usyk Chisora for the WBO, the vacant title, Joshua defending his IBF and WBA against Pulev, and Wilder Fury for the WBC and lineal title. So we're in a very good place.
Right, and I'm making for a big fight. I'm thinking we're probably thinking early 2021, because people have got their obligations to fulfil next year. So you're talking early 2021.
John Nelson, thank you very much for your time here in Saudi Arabia. Get home safe, all right?
Yeah, I'm just going to get myself some shisha.
Be safe.
Is special.